Hey guys, it's Adrian Chenault, and thank you. It was very exciting to see that so many of you guys were interested in the Facebook Live that I did the other night talking about this Superwoman power user of contact mapping who I had the chance to interview on Friday. And so I thought it would actually be helpful maybe to do a little video instead of typing up a bunch of notes, to just share a little bit about some of the things that I learned from her that I think might be helpful for you, and some things that you might be able to take away from that conversation. So, as I had mentioned on the Facebook Live, our product has been around for 6 to 9 months. I'm not exactly sure when this person got on there, but she has created over 6,000 notes in contact mapping against various contacts that she has in her database in that 6 to 9 months, which is just insane that she's able to do that. She has on average 50 new follow-ups that are popping up for her on a daily basis, and much of the time she's adding around 25 new people per day that she's meeting into the app. And so, needless to say, I mean, that's playing it at a level that very, very few people in the world, I think, are playing it. And so I was really excited to have the conversation. And so a couple of things that I wanted to kind of highlight for you. The first one is, she wasn't new to networking per se when she came across contact mapping. So she was previously had cobbled together some systems. So she was using kind of this old school sort of index cards or recipe cards in a box sort of system that that's been around for a long time, where you sort of, today's the 18th, you pull up the little tab for the 18th, you go through your cards for that day, and then you either put them back in the 18th to call them again in a month, or you move it out a week or whatever it is. So you're cycling through on a monthly basis through your cards. So she started there. However, that started to get too manual, and she had too many index cards to keep track of. And so then she moved it into an Excel database and did that for a long time. But again, it started to get cumbersome for her. And that was around the time that she found contact mapping. So she had a fair number of people that were sort of already in her system that she needed to get over into contact mapping in order to be successful doing that. And so the first tip that I would share with you that came from her is that she knew if she had to put the pressure on herself to do this big migration of what she was doing before over into what she was going to be doing in contact mapping, that wasn't going to ever work. And so instead, she went step by step, and every day when her follow-ups would come up for that day of the month, she would move those into contact mapping and shift them over that way. And so she did it over essentially a 30-day period in order to get herself moved over. But instead of trying to do that all at once and getting discouraged and bogged down, she did it a little bit at a time. And so, whatever system you may have had in the past, that's a great strategy for you to be able to get yourself moved over without getting stuck. The second thing that she talked about that I thought was really important is, she, in every area of her life, I talked to her, I was like, so you're meeting, 25 people a day, how on earth are you doing that? And she said, it's almost all through referrals, and it's almost all through just presenting love and interest to other people. And even if they're not interested in what I'm doing, because I'm authentic, they're willing to refer me, and it just kind of snowballs. And so she was talking about that she was chosen by her network marketing company to go to an event that's coming up soon, and where there's a bunch of different booths being set up by women representing different businesses. And she's like, I'm just going to go and I'm going to dominate this thing, because I'm not going to be selling anything. I'm going to entirely be about getting to know people, meeting them where they are, and then we can talk about what I sell or what they need once we have that conversation. And she just said she's having huge success doing that. And, again, able to connect with roughly 25 new people every day, which is just incredible. Especially, she's not a full-time network marketer. She's working this part-time and still able to operate at that level. So that was really inspiring. The third thing that she talked about, which I thought was really cool, is so on average, she has 50 new follow-ups that are popping up every day for her to reach out and connect with somebody that she's already mapped. And I asked her, so are you doing, do you use little scripts or snippets or those sort of things to kind of process through those quickly? And she said, nope. I obviously don't spend a huge amount of time in each case, but I revisit the notes on every person or look at their Facebook, and I send a customized message to every one of them. And I just find that taking that extra little step to be authentic is worth the time. And so she's really focused on doing that, and yet is able to move through them quickly. And she batches the time is the big thing, right? Is she says, okay, this is my 2 hours that I'm going to spend on following up with people, and she focuses in on that, and she's able to work through them methodically and get through even that kind of a volume. The last thing that I would just say is, she talked a lot about that she lives in the app. And I think, some of the conversation that we had, what that means for her is that because she's backstopped by knowing that the tool is there, that no one's going to fall through the cracks, that she can get back to, she can remember these things because she's put them in the app. She's able to, she knows she's able to be relational at that level. Whereas if she didn't have the tool, she said, there's no way that I'd be able to do anywhere close to what I'm doing, because I just couldn't manage the volume. And so, no matter, very few people are ever going to be doing it at that volume that she's doing. But I think those same principles apply, that if you know that you've got a system in place that backstops you, that's a game changer, because it means that you don't have to worry so much about certain parts of making sure you remember names and trying to kind of keep all that stuff in your memory, because you have it captured someplace that you can retrieve it instantly, and that you can get right back into that place of connectedness. And so that rang really true for me. So anyways, any questions that you guys have, anything that is a head scratcher for you as you try to really get contact mapping as a set of principles and as a set of habits infused into your life, I'd love to have that conversation. But hopefully this is helpful, just as a little, download of that conversation that I had with Superwoman last week. And have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.